Welcome to our Cleancast. Thanks for joining us today. I've entitled this one Magnificent Insanity. Not long ago, I was in another city and from where I live, and I saw an ad in the paper, and it said, "Magnificent ideas without magnificent people is insanity." It was actually the newspaper that was advertising for people to hire. But they said, "We have magnificent people ideas with our paper. We need some magnificent people to join us." But they said magnificent ideas without magnificent people is insanity. Now think about it. We as entrepreneurs, people like me, we're famous for coming up with, quote, magnificent ideas, but then a lot of times we don't follow through with the people that we need, or we don't follow through with the details. I so vividly recall my staff usually telling me, "Dick, you're one of the greatest idea guys in the world, but we have to follow behind you with the pooper scooper because you leave a trail, of mess behind you because you don't organize what you want done." Well, that was probably a little bit harsh, but probably pretty accurate. I have this great idea. I want to do this. And as years went by, I got a little better about if I want to do these things, I better do some planning. And those of you that are clients of mine on the consulting side of this company, you know that I've almost to the point of the extreme the other way now. We're not moving forward, ABC Company, until we complete this study, until we complete this questionnaire and complete it with honest answers, then we'll move on. So I've actually gone from over here to over here. And probably somewhere over here is the right answer. But isn't it true, if you're an entrepreneur listening to this, you're always trying to think of creative ways that you can make your business better. And if you're not, you're probably not an entrepreneur. But then, is that other end of it lacking? How are we going to do it? I got this magnificent idea. Yeah, Dick, but how many people is it going to take to put it together? Well, as you enter the second half of the year, do you have or have you started some magnificent plans? Have you started to execute some? We're in this. This is being posted, I think, the 10th of July. A couple of weeks from now. I'm pre-recording this, but about the 10th of July, this will be up, and now we'll be entering the second half of the year. How have you done the first half? Have you executed some magnificent plans and not had the people to take care of it? Or have you done what you said you'd do, plus brought the people along that you needed to make the execution? You making an investment in your magnificent people? That's one of the things that many companies do is when cash gets a little short, I'm not going to do all these training classes. We'll just hire them and put them out there. Let them work with an experienced worker, which means that they can hang themselves. You'll see that if you don't have good people, if you're not always recruiting good people, then a lot of the plans that you have, a lot of the magnificent ideas that you have are not going to come to fruition. They're just not. Because you haven't done your job in bringing along the other half of magnificence. That's just the way it is. I have a favorite website, a favorite quote on my website. If you've looked at it lately, I do a little plug here, www.consultancyandcleaning.com. But I have a couple of these up on my website, and Richard Branson, who is the chairman and CEO of Virgin Airlines, says, "Train your people well enough so that they could leave. Treat them so they don't want to." So I guess I could even say recruit lots of people and train them so that they could leave. And treat them like so that they don't want to. we should always be in the recruiting and training mode in this business. We're in the people business, for goodness sakes. And I just yesterday visited at length with one of my clients talking about additional services that we could bring on to make it a full facility service for their client. And I started asking a few questions, and one of them was that their client had a lot of temporary help out there in their facility, in one of these manufacturing facilities. And my comment was, are you hiring the people? Are you the temp agency? And he said, no. I said, well, you can be. He said, well, hey, we're in the people business. Our job is to find and hire and train magnificent people. So why not find 10 people that one of your customers could use in their plant or wherever? Why not? You ever thought of that? This is off the subject, but it fits. We should be constantly recruiting, even when you don't need the people. Be recruiting now and keep them trained. Because if you have a good organized program for sales, you're going to need those magnificent people pretty soon. And if you're training them, getting them ready, and you've heard me say on these podcasts before, where I learned my lesson when I had an opportunity to take over 500,000 square feet, and I didn't have any management in line to do it, and I didn't get the business. And I was the most favored nation on the deal. So, anyway, and then one of the others that's on my website, and this is an Ollieism, it's better to train your people and have them leave than not train them and have them stay. Ever think of that? Because if you're not training any, you're in constant turmoil. And if you train them and they leave, a couple of things happen. Not every one of them is going to leave, so you've got some trained people. The other thing, number 2, is they may leave, and I had this happen to me, they may leave and 6 months later they're back because the grass was not that much greener on the other side of the fence. So take another look at the magnificent ideas that you have or want to implement. Are you getting magnificent people recruited and trained to take over those magnificent ideas? Thanks for watching us today. See you next time.